Now, within the last hour, both the Russian and the French rival draft resolutions on the Syria crisis have been vetoed at the UN Security Council. Let's get the latest now from our correspondent Caleb Morpin, joins us on the line. Caleb, you've been closely watching events there. Why have both of the resolutions been rejected?
Well, Russia has vetoed a resolution from the United Nations that would essentially call for a no-fly zone over Syria. Now, China abstained during that voting. And then after that, we heard leaders of the United States, the United Kingdom, and other Western countries bash Russia for vetoing that resolution. Let's take a listen.
Today, we have seen the fifth veto in 5 years on Syria from you, Mr. President. A veto that is a cynical abuse of the privileges and responsibilities of permanent membership.
The feature of this draft resolution is a ban on all military flights over Aleppo, not only its eastern part but also the west, which is repeatedly shelled by the fighters from the east. And the concept of this ban has not been worked through at all. We asked, would it include surveillance drones, which are watching over the fighters' movements? There was no answer. Why does it include the western part of the city, which is controlled by the government? The answer they give, it's more convenient. Is this a serious conversation?
Now, the Russian envoy called the resolution unbalanced, and he pointed out that the call for a no-fly zone in Syria essentially amounts to a call for regime change, and that the regime change in Libya and in Iraq both strengthened terrorism around the world and in the countries after the governments were toppled. Now, furthermore, the Russian envoy pointed out that, that the Russian government is targeting the al-Nusra terrorists in Syria, that they are the ones being targeted, and that as of yet, the United States has not separated the so-called moderate opposition forces that they are supporting from the al-Nusra terrorists. Now, the UN Security Council has called for this separation to take place for months, but it still hasn't happened yet. Now, very interestingly, we did hear the UN Special Envoy for Syria, de Mistura. We heard him make a very interesting offer to the al-Nusra terrorists very recently. Let's take a listen to what he said.
If you did decide to leave in dignity and with your weapons to Idlib or anywhere you wanted to go, I personally am ready physically to accompany you.
Now, with two resolutions being vetoed, this meeting of the United Nations Security Council, the 15-member body that leads the United Nations, this meeting really highlighted the differences between world powers when it comes to Syria and the ongoing tension and difficulties in resolving the crisis.
Okay, many thanks. That's Caleb Morpin bringing us the latest there from New York.